guys, what's going on? SE Rocks here with you with the Doc. The Doc, Curtis MD. We're gonna do top 5 wrestlers as a child slash teenager. The ones that we remember most as a child that we still remember today, I guess. I'm gonna lead off, I suppose.
All right.
I'm gonna lead off with number 1, and number 1 on my list is what I would list as number 1, which kind of goes against what we just said, but anybody who knows me knows Ultimate Warrior is my favorite wrestler ever. Yeah. F what others think about this before he passed away. Warrior. And I don't know what it was. It was just his cartoonish persona. It was definitely the music. The music had a big part of
the music
it.
was awesome.
The way he ran to the ring, the intensity he had, the rope shaking. As a kid, that was like everything that I looked for, I guess, in a wrestler. I was always drawn to his look. Even his gibberish promos, I think, were a big aspect of why I liked it, because it didn't make sense, but he was just so hardcore, and he believed what he was saying, I think.
I watched a few promos this morning before you came over, and there were a couple in there that were actually good. He wasn't a good promo guy by any means,
but he wasn't terrible either, though.
Any squirrel can find a blind squirrel can find a nut, I guess. So.
All right. I don't know. I mean, the content of his promos was awful.
Yeah.
But his delivery was good. I mean, if you put him against some guys today that they have content, but there's just nothing behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't good by any means, but he worked really well. Yeah, all his matches. I mean, the one with Honky Tonk, even though it was 12 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Like
there was like a splash and.
Yeah, I think a clothesline and a splash, maybe.
Maybe a shoulder block that was. Done.
Everything. The ones he did with Legion of Doom.
Didn't that end Honky Tonk's?
Like, squash match for Honky Tonk.
That's crazy.
But everything with him was memorable. I mean, I still remember it. To this day, when I hear his entrance music, it still kind of, I don't want to say brings chills to me, but it still kind of charges me up a little bit.
I got to listen to that this morning, too.
All right, what do you got?
I guess I got Warrior on here, too. He made his debut in 1987.
Some statistics.
Yeah, it was about the height of WWE, I think, during that era. I mean, they were making money hand over fist then.
Right.
Had the splash for a finisher. It sounds kind of ridiculous now, but the guy's doing like 450 splashes or moonsaults or whatever else. But yeah, he was awesome. The face paint, the tassels he had.
Yeah, the tassels.
He was a good-looking dude. He was huge, built.
Right.
I think he was just a great guy.
Yeah,
that's great. Not necessarily the greatest wrestler, but he didn't need to be a great wrestler then.
Yeah, exactly. It was the times.
Yeah.
I mean, for the time, that's what wrestling was.
Yeah, just a shoulder block, a clothesline, and a splash, and you were done.
He epitomized what wrestling was in the late 80s, early 90s. There, you go ahead.
But I also got a man that debuted a year earlier. That's Mr. DDT himself, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yep.
Probably one of the greatest wrestlers never to win a title.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
But
crazy to even think that he never won any title.
Everybody don't need him. Everybody don't need a title.
I agree. He didn't need it. He was over everything he did, but he did deserve.
Yeah.
Some kind of title.
Well, I've heard people talk about when him and Hogan were getting ready to do stuff that they were chanting DDT more than they were chanting Hulkamania or whatever. So that's why they never really had a good feud together. But yeah, Jake the Snake was awesome. The way he delivered, it's complete opposite from Ultimate Warrior, but the way he delivered promos in a nice, quiet, calm manner.
Yeah.
He didn't have to yell. He didn't have to do anything.
Yep.
Crazy like that. But yeah, he was awesome. Jake the Snake was one of my favorites back.
Is there a memorable match that stands out to you, or feud from that time? Or?
Was it WrestleMania 3 where he dropped Steamboat on his head and completely knocked out Steamboat? If you should YouTube that and see if you can check it out. Watch Jake the Snake trying to put Steamboat back in
dead body. Yeah,
just complete dead weight.
Sounds like a watermelon.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
So that's one of the memories you have of him.
Yeah, Jake the well, I got a lot of things. I was doing a little bit of research on a lot of these guys. His feud with the Undertaker was amazing. Get into Undertaker later, but his feud with Randy Savage, with the Cobra and the wedding angle and all that other stuff. The Cobra was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Right.
Just that thing mounting on.
Yeah, as a kid, you're
like
terrified. Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
Actually thinking that, man, he's gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
That's what wrestling's missing nowadays too. I think is that
there's no believability.
Yeah, but we're adults now too. I mean, none of that stuff would work today.
Yeah, but we watch movies. We can suspend it.
But do we? Do we?
I try to.
Joey Ryan.
Yeah.
Go back to our last video. We talked about that a little bit, guys. I'm gonna skip around my list right here. So whatever. Skip around my list so it doesn't sound like we're copying each other. We're allowed to pick tag teams, so I put one tag team on here on my main list. The Rockers. Pretty much, I guess, for the same reason as far as like their music was really catchy. They almost had a riff like the Warriors. It was kind of the same. They had the tassels and they were really flashy, bright colors. Great workers. A little bit different than the Warrior.
Yeah, they could actually work.
Yeah. All their feuds were really good too. I really liked Rockers against Demolition, Rockers Brainbusters.
I don't remember too many matches they had really. I just
Rockers Bulldogs. I remember. I don't know. These 5 are probably the only ones that I actually watched as a kid.
I should have did some research on them, but I didn't know what you were picking. So.
When they split as a kid, I was totally crushed.
That was fantastic.
I hated HBK. He did his job. He was the heel of that.
Oh yeah.
I never really liked him after that. I think a part of me just kind of still holds on to that. Like, bastard, he kicked Marty through that window.
No, he super kicked him and then threw him through, and then.
Is that what he did?
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
I know he super kicked him. I thought he super kicked him through the window.
No, they went to do like a turn thing, and Shawn Michaels super kicked him.
Yeah. Did he grab him and throw him through it? That would have been cooler if it would have done how I said it. Hindsight's 2020. But yeah, the Rockers were really good. One of my favorite tag teams as a child.
Yeah, it's cool. Not my favorite tag team, but it's all good. One other guy I got. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
He debuted in '79.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? He's wrestled in like 3 decades almost. 4 decades. Yeah, Hulk Hogan was the top guy. You couldn't get any better than Hulk Hogan. I don't know what it was about Hulk Hogan either, but even now when I watched a few things just this morning of Hulk Hogan, it's just as amazing. So I was like 6 years old watching.
Yeah, he's bigger than life.
Oh yeah, it's huge. I think everybody knows Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he transcended everything that wrestling was.
Yeah. Because I totally blanked on the future.
Hogan can name anybody.
I know, a feud with everybody.
Yeah. Giant.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Savage. Yeah, Savage.
Yeah, then when the Mega Powers broke up in WrestleMania 5, that was yeah. It's like one of the top, or was the top most even. I thought that was yeah.
See WrestleMania?
Yeah, WrestleMania 5. Actually had to pull up. Yeah. Oh. at SummerSlam, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was SummerSlam. You're
When
right.
Hogan came back out, still wearing
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yep. Okay, I'll go back. You get Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake made my list too. We didn't have any discussion on who we're putting on this list either. Just happens that we like a lot of the same guys. Jake was always eerie. Like I said, he had that really calm tone. He didn't have to yell ever.
No.
He commanded your attention when he was on the screen. You had to watch what he was going to say. He was one of the heels that you loved and hated. You didn't like him, but you still liked him. You wanted to know what he was going to do, who he was going to feud with, what he was going to say next. His promos were not good. I don't ever remember one bad Jake. I think the Snake was a big part of it too. Why I liked to hate him. I don't know how you would say that, but
There's some good stories of backstage with Jake the Snake and Damien.
some tomfoolery going on.
Oh my God, you should listen to some of those. They're fantastic.
I don't know if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, some of them are great. Like guys taking showers and Jake the Snake putting
shows
Damien
up.
in there.
Nice.
Yeah, just fantastic.
Who was that? Was it Yokozuna that crushed Damien, or was that Earthquake in that
I think it was
storyline?
Earthquake.
Was it Earthquake? Yeah, I remember. I mean, obviously, I can't remember who it was, but that's one of the things I remember was that was terrible. I remember just killed Damien.
Damien crying.
Yeah, it was crazy. Oh, that's what I wanted to say too. Okay, there was always a story growing up. I don't know where it came from.
You heard? I was gonna.
I think
bring up
you
the story.
told me. Maybe your mom told me. I don't know. Jake the Snake at Kenyon's bar.
Yeah.
Do we have any truth behind this? Do we know anything about it?
I can't confirm nor deny.
I remember hearing that.
I remember hearing it too. So that's all.
I can't. I know I heard it at your house as a kid, but I don't
Yeah.
remember who said it. Who would have been down there to see him? I don't know. But
I don't know if
there's a story going around that Jake the Snake Roberts was at Kenyon's bar in Lupton, Michigan. Why he would have been, I have no idea.
Yeah, if anybody knows that area or knows where we live, not me now, obviously, because it's a little bit further.
Yeah.
Where we grew up, it's literally 5 miles from our house.
Yeah, middle of nowhere. Just.
Yeah.
Even if he was doing like a house show for WWF in Saginaw,
Yeah.
it's still so far out of the way. So if anybody has any information on this Jake the Snake appearance in Kenyon's around probably, I don't know, what, 1991-ish or something?
I think it was earlier than that. Even.
Yeah, maybe. Get back to us. Jake, if you're watching this,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah, for real. My next, I guess, is the dead man himself, The Undertaker.
Yeah, The Undertaker.
Yeah, like, he was, when DiBiase brought him out at Survivor Series, was like, who the heck is this guy?
Right.
Just the way he would slowly move around the ring. Just
Yeah,
never have a look. He always had the same look on his face, and it was always that
emotionless.
Yeah, you really. At least I did. I always thought he was really dead.
Dead man, right?
Because when you're young, you believe a lot
you
of
buy into
shit.
the gimmicks. Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought he was like this
the dead man
from another world. Dead man.
Right.
Great. I don't think there could have been another person on Earth that could have
I don't
done
think so
that.
either.
Undertaker.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Perfect, yeah. Is there a feud of his that you remember?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's another one. You can just pick one like Hogan.
Yeah.
Or even with Hogan, when he got.
Yep.
I think he won the world title from Hogan. It was his first world title, I believe.
Think so.
But
I always remember Taker Jake.
Yeah.
Taker was.
Yeah, I just watched the old video from that. Him at the funeral parlor. Jake the Snake shut the casket on Taker's hand, hit him with a chair a couple times, and Taker's still going after him and dragging the casket behind him. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, stuff back then was so good.
Yeah.
Which incarnation of the Undertaker did you like best? Because he went through like 5 different stages during his career. There was like the DiBiase Taker, the Paul Bearer Taker, Ministry of Darkness Taker, Badass Taker, and like
modern day kind of.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think it was with Brother Love and
Oh yeah, I
Paul.
forgot all about Brother Love.
Well, Paul Bearer kind of put them together,
Yeah.
but when he started talking, like actually, you could hear a little bit more emotion out of his. Well, not really.
Right.
But
Actually talk.
yeah, yeah, he was a hell of a promo too. But he only needed, he only needed to say rest in
Rest in
peace, or
peace, yeah.
that was it.
Yeah,
You only
pretty
needed
much.
2 or 3 words from that guy. It was
Right.
amazing.
So you liked Brother Love Paul Bearer Taker?
Yeah.
I like Ministry of Darkness Taker.
See, I missed most of. I was the WCW mark.
Yeah, that was when I started to tail off towards the end of that, and I didn't watch for a long time. But that was one of the reasons why I tune in. I liked his. It was just out there. Like I didn't really like all the guys that were in the group in the Ministry of Darkness, but I loved his.
I couldn't name
wrestling
one other guy
garb.
in the Ministry of Darkness besides Taker.
Minion, who was one of the Godwins. I think both Godwins were in there at some point. Yeah, those are the ones I can think of right now. But anyways, I liked his garb. I liked his
It was kind of a
everything.
Hellraiser pinhead.
Kinda, yeah. And that throne he would sit on, I really like that. When he crucified Stone Cold, that was so far out there, but it was really intriguing. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm just Undertaker was on my list too for pretty much the same exact reasons he said. For some reason, I thought he debuted a lot later, so I put him in my teen years. But I guess he was what year did you say?
1990.
1990, yeah. Again, he was eerie. Yeah, Survivor Series when he debuted. He had an eerie gimmick, so he commanded your presence, just like Jake the Snake, but in a different way. Paul Bearer was an amazing manager. You got to give it to Paul Bearer. I think he's a huge part of why Undertaker got over.
He was probably top 5 manager ever.
I don't think if Paul Bearer would have been a part of it, I honestly don't think Undertaker would have got over like he did, because Paul Bearer was just creepy. He fit that persona perfectly. Like he was.
Yeah, it's like he dug up this dead man
Yeah.
and brought him to the.
Yeah, he was the curator. He always had the urn, and he was just so good. I can't say enough things about Paul Bearer. Oh yes. I mean, he was just. It was creepy as a kid. You heard him say that, and the lights would go out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my first ever wrestling show. Undertaker was advertised to be in Saginaw.
Oh,
I can't remember what year it was. Gosh, it was a freaking long ass time ago. I want to say it was 9th grade, no, 8th grade.
Probably like 91-ish, 92-ish maybe.
Yeah, it was around there, yep. Grandpa had just passed away that same day. We weren't going to go, but Dad said, well, go take your mind off it anyways. So we went. Taker wasn't there, which was really a bummer. I want to say that Paul Bearer was there, but I can't recall. There was something happened, and they tried to write it off as why he couldn't make it. But I still have, to this day, the foam finger from that show. It's not in the best condition, but this is 96, I think. Yeah, but that's been through a lot. So yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, cool little piece of prop material.
But the Undertaker's got a foam finger on the gimmick table.
I will bury you. Yeah, that's good stuff. But Savage is on both our lists, just to combine it up real quick.
Yeah. What can you say about Macho Man?
Right.
He's probably one of the greatest workers ever. Yeah. If you don't think that, go back and watch him and Steamboat at WrestleMania 3.
Yeah. Everything. I really remember Macho Man, Mr. Perfect matches for some reason. I don't know why. They were both great workers, probably why.
Perfect was a bump machine.
Yeah. All you can say about Macho Man's, ooh yeah. I mean, if you hear that anywhere, you know exactly what it's coming from. Macho Man Warrior is a memorable match because Macho Man pulled Warrior through that match. And I think anybody you hear talk about it says that it was one of Warrior's best matches.
Yeah.
And I think at some point he even said that it was. I want to say he had a YouTube video saying that
Warrior
liked, Warrior liked working with Savage, which says a lot because from the sounds of it, not a whole lot of people liked working with Warrior and vice versa.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and a lot of people like working with him. He was stiff. I heard a lot.
Yeah,
guys talking about.
Yeah, he's a big dude though. Yeah. But Macho Man had charisma, just oozing charisma.
Yeah,
he was just so good at promos.
Besides him, Hogan would probably only be more charismatic than Savage.
I'm gonna argue that one. I don't think.
Well, in the standard fan views, probably not.
But no, I don't think Hogan had that much charisma. I think he just. You had to give him your attention because he was so big.
Maybe.
I guess he did have a little bit. Nothing compared to Savage. Savage had, I mean, just oozing.
Yeah. I just know that Hogan, you had lust in your eyes for Miss Elizabeth.
Right?
Yeah.
One of the best feuds ever.
It's fantastic. Really, I was going back to a little bit earlier when we were talking about when the Mag Power exploded.
Yeah. Put his hand on the tush.
Yeah. But he wasn't really a tush.
Yeah. Whatever.
You just want to simulate the tush.
Yeah. Well, it was close enough for him. We both have a runner-up. We'll go through real quick. Wrap this up. Who was yours?
It would probably get a few laughs, but
right.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. I don't know what it was about a beefcake, but it's kind of weird now. He was basically a male stripper.
Yeah, you liked his pants.
I probably did. They were all cut off on the side, but
I like that shit.
no, I don't. I remember this funny story. Hopefully, my sister watches this and she'll get a funny kick out of it. But I think it was her first day of high school, or it was the day before, and I had these big scissors. You know, they were like those fabric scissors or some shit. And I ran into a room and I was like, you know, Brutus Barber Beefcake. You know, I ran in there and like. She was sleeping, and I never told you the story.
No.
Oh yeah, it totally like chopped a little bit of hair off the right in the front off her bangs.
Right.
And yeah, that was
like early '90s too, where they had like the big bangs.
oh
and
my
stuff
god,
going on too,
my
isn't
sister
it?
like my hand will go far enough for the camera, but literally, I love you sis, but your hair was about 13, 14 inches off the top of your head.
It was crazy.
But yeah, I
never heard that story. Yeah, she was really happy about that.
Oh yeah, it was like literally like the day before high school, I believe. She'll have to remind me on the exact time, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Or just remember Beefcake for this.
That's great. Yeah, Beefcake is in my head, but he didn't make my list. I think he was just another guy that was big, so you'll always remember him. I don't know.
Hogan's friend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Weed carrier.
Allegedly. My runner-up is Demolition. Demolition were another amazing tag team. Held the record for longest title reign until the New Day broke it up here recently. Yay! I liked all. There was Axe, Smash, Crush. I think there might have been one more in there at some point.
They had a fourth, didn't they?
I think there was one before Crush got there.
Oh.
There was never four, I don't think. But Mr. Fuji was a great manager.
Speaking of videos, you should go try and find Mr. Fuji rib videos.
Yeah.
I guess Mr. Fuji was like the greatest river ever.
Yeah.
But go find those kids.
The music they had is memorable. I remember singing it all the time.
Oh yeah.
So
here comes the Axe and here comes the Smash.
Yeah. The Demolition, Walking Disaster.
That's right.
The ring garb with the spikes. And
yeah, they had everything.
They were a Legion of Doom ripoff, Road Warriors ripoff, or whatever. But I just like their. I mean, nowadays I guess it'd be called. What was it?
Bondage kind
bondage,
of style.
Yeah, bondage style. The feuds were fun to watch. They were decent in the ring. I mean, they weren't great, but they were pretty good.
I don't know. I think I don't know if you watched it, but that one I linked you of all three members of Demolition versus the Legion of Doom and Warrior.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, they were good. I mean,
that was a hell of a match, actually.
They were probably one of the better teams. I don't know. I guess I'm comparing them to teams today, which isn't fair, but
yeah,
they held their own.
I think they were great for their time. Probably it'd be top 5 tag team
of all time
ever.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll have a list like that at some point. And weirdly, Hogan didn't make my top 5. He's in my runners-up. I was more of a Warrior fan. I always hated Hogan for when he beat Warrior or whatever. but he's got to be on there. I mean, he was wrestling for such a long time, and his match with Warrior at SummerSlam is my favorite wrestling memory of all time. I remember watching as a kid, and they hit that double clothesline spot, and I popped off the couch, and that's still like my favorite spot to this day. Like I'll go back and just watch that spot from that match. I don't know what it is about it, but unexpected, I guess. You never really seen that happen. Like they both went down.
Probably because you were really believing that these guys are so tired that they can't continue anymore.
Get up,
oh my God, like.
Yeah, who's gonna? Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
Like who's gonna win?
Yeah.
I admit that's what I miss most about wrestling. Like just that feeling of like.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
there's very few and far between.
Yeah, I don't even remember a modern day time when that's happened.
I think this last pay-per-view had one where I wasn't sure who was gonna win. But there's not like a moment in a match where you're like, no, I can't say that either because there have been a couple.
Yeah.
I don't think so much in WWE, maybe Ring of Honor. You watch and there's a lot of false finishes, and you don't know who's gonna win. Even though I think one I was watching was Kevin Steen versus El Generico, and there were a lot of false finishes. And since I hadn't seen the match before, I didn't know who was gonna win. So every time it was close, I was like, whoa, it was so good. It doesn't happen much in WWE though. So that's what we have today for our list. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and click the like button, share our videos, comment if you want to comment. That would be great. Give us some ideas. Again, we're hoping to get Benjamin Brody on for our next interview. I got to get back with him. That'd be a great interview. Trained with Lance Storm, nephew of Bruiser Brody. I mean, big time guy right there. Yeah, for sure.
Ever.
It would just be great to get him on here and talk a little bit. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll have more coming soon.